Ian here. Today we're going to talk about corrective lenses, a little bit how they work, and a brief history. Lenses are a really fascinating thing. Even if you don't understand how they work, they can be a pretty cool toy, and they can be extremely useful if you do know how they work. The intuition behind how a lens works is pretty intuitive. If you look at how light reacts when it passes through a medium of different density, the image will appear broken. This phenomenon is known as refraction. Now, why does refraction happen? If you look at this beautiful diagram that I've prepared for you, a ray of light enters a denser medium at an angle. Now, as the ray of light approaches the new medium, this point is going to hit the medium first. Because it's denser, it's going to be traveling slower. But if you notice, all the points on this ray are still traveling at the same speed on the outside, where this one is going to start traveling slower first. This is going to effectively bend the light. The same principle as it works, it goes from the denser medium to the lighter medium again. Let's apply refraction to a curved surface. In this case, I've procured a diagram of a biconvex lens. The parallel light rays come in, hit the denser medium lens, and you'll find that all the points are going to converge to this point, which we call the focal point. The focal point was first really realized by the Greek polymath Archimedes, where he used the focal point to create a death ray. This was done with a series of pivoting mirrors to focus the sun on a single point to try and light enemy ships on fire. This was even attempted on the popular discovery show Mythbusters. Historians have also suggested that perhaps even the ancient Romans used globes of water to try and magnify text. But I think these guys have the right idea of what to do with a water lens. That's right, burning your lawn is probably the right thing to do. The idea of magnifying objects was first utilized by Italian monks in the late 12th century, where they made simple magnifying glass to enlarge text to help them read the fine print as they aged. But before we get into more history of lenses, let's first talk about how the eye works. The eye is one of the most important organs in our body, and it gives us the ability to see. Here's a diagram of how it works. The light comes in through the front of the eye, through the pupil, and into the eye's own lens. This lens then refracts the light onto the back of the eye, which is known as the retina. The retina then takes this projected light and turns it into an electrical signal through the optic nerve and sends it to our brain. Our brain then renders this image into what we know as seeing. Some conditions of the eye are this. Nearsightedness is when the lens focal point is projected in front of the retina. Farsightedness is when the focal point is projected behind the retina. Another condition is astigmatism. Astigmatism is a condition where the lens of the eye isn't perfect and tends to create patches of unfocused light, which on the back of our retina are then rendered as blurry spots in our brain. The mathematics and techniques behind creating the corrective lens were well known into the 17th century, but this wasn't good enough for one man. In 1784, Benjamin Franklin created the bifocal glasses. With this, both near and far-sightedness could now be corrected with one pair of lenses. Perhaps it was with these glasses that helped Ben realize electricity when he was struck by lightning. Who knows? The next development in lens history was the development for lenses to correct for astigmatism. This was done by George Erie in the year 1825. Corrective lenses have come pretty far, but they could still go further, with the development of contact lenses. The first contact lens was developed in 1887, and it was glass and covered the whole eye. It was probably really uncomfortable to wear, but face it, I guess you didn't have to get called Four Eyes all the time anymore. Contact lenses didn't really take off until the development of soft contact lenses in the 1970s. In conclusion, the lens has been a huge benefit to humanity. The ability to be able to correct vision problems has benefited the lives of millions of people around the world for the past 200 years. Now with the modern era and the frontier of nanotechnology, it seems limitless what can be engineered. But if all that's too fancy for you, it's nice to know that you can always go and get a good pair of old-fashioned glasses. Thanks for watching.